Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
And check out that eye. That's exactly what we want to see.
Woo, look at that panel, baby.
And that, as they say, is that. Thunder. Nah, I'm not gonna finish it. This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for my overview of Dynamite's ThunderCats Volumes 1, 2, and the Chitaara miniseries. Okay, it is cheesy, but ThunderCats! Oh man, I love that cartoon growing up. Join me. And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, a big thank you to the folks at Dynamite for sending us copies of each of these volumes right here. So we are going to be looking at volumes 1, 2, and the mini-series, and where this one should be read, or at least when I read it, and talking about the stories that are collected in here. But yes, each one of the volumes did come in a trade paperback format, or it came in a standard size hardcover. So this is a standard size hardcover, and that is something that I wanted to make sure people knew. As far as the trim size of the paper stock, it's identical to that of the hardcover. It's just that there's a hardback here, so it makes it look a little bit taller, like you see in that volume 2. So we are going to be looking at each and every one of these. I'll be looking at the hardcovers and then do a comparison to the softcovers to see what exactly is different, if anything. All right, so let's go ahead and start actually with volume 1 right here. ThunderCats Volume 1, Omens. And here we go. This is collecting the first 5 issues of ThunderCats. I love this. ThunderCats! Oh, that's awesome. That's actually panels from inside the book, so that gives you an idea of what Drew Moss's artwork looks like. So here are the credits. Declan Shalvey killing it with writing the first 4 issues with art by Drew Moss. Stephen Mooney writing and drawing the 5th issue. Chiara Di Francia and Martina Pignadoli are the colorists, and Mauro Gulma the colors for issue number 5, lettering by Jeff Eckelberry. I note here from Declan Shalvey how he ended up getting hooked all the way from Ireland. I love talking to that guy, and he's just got so many ideas. And yes, we did get Silverhawks, baby. So yes, collecting issues 1 through 5, and each issue presented in a frame like this, issue 1, and giving credit to the artist right here. And there's Panthro, don't worry, he's still there. Now, I want to go ahead and say, these stories of ThunderCats, even though you're going to see familiar characters looking a little bit different, like Tigra, even Wily Kit, this is a new origin for ThunderCats. You don't need to have watched any of the TV shows growing up, whether the original one in the 80s or the one in the early on. Was that 2007, I think? That was a great series, by the way. Or have read any of the comics. This is a fresh start. Even though the characters look like the characters from the cartoon, it's not a continuation. It's not like Power Rangers, where it skips a year. Boom's Power Ranger at that, where it skips a year and you're like, oh, it's now I'm caught up. Now I know what's going on. No, this isn't season 4. It is just a beginning of the story. The story is about how the ThunderCats, this group of warriors, were attacked while they were escaping Thundera. And they were attacked, and there's a little bit of a flashback here. They were attacked by these mutants of Plundar. And Slythe is the very first mutant they're going to come in contact with. They arrive on this planet called Third Earth. And one of the first things that you are told, and I'm not going to spoil much, I promise, just a little bit of the first story arc in here. But Lion-O, because he was in suspended animation and that pod broke, so that stasis pod ended up breaking, he aged up. So he was supposed to be the same age as Wily Kit and Wily Cat. And now he's in his 20s. And supposed to be Lord of the ThunderCats, and his training isn't going that well. So yeah, Slythe ends up finding them, and then we get a little tease as to perhaps there's something evil and something else living in the planet. And we get to know the characters and see how they work and see which one has more experience. Chapter breaks like this too, and then you get issue 2. So you are going to be seeing a lot of familiar characters through here. You're going to see, of course, Lion-O, Wily Cat, Wily Kit, Tigra, Chitaara, Panthro, Jaga, Slythe, as I mentioned, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the other characters in a second, but also mumm-ra. But is he all powered up, or is he just a mummy? And who's this character that we just found? Well, this is Calica. She is the new character that was added here. She also escaped from Thundera, but she was kidnapped by the mutants and has ended up finally meeting the ThunderCats. And yeah, they're throwing in new elements with old school stories in here. And wait a minute, where's Snarf? Well, worry not. Snarf is here. So we do have a battle eventually that takes place, not just with the mutants, but also the confrontation with mumm-ra. And then this is what the 5th issue looks like, how it's drawn. Oh man, there's an amazing scene that I want to talk about, but it's a fight between Chitaara and Panthro. And it's really cool how she she pretty much challenges him. So it's the Thunder Challenge is what it's called, because he's questioning Lion-O's leadership ability. And these are all the variant covers in the back. This book has 136 pages, and there's ads back here. Now, one thing I want to make sure everyone knows is that this book, the trade paperback, and this hardcover both have the same page count, 136 pages. The trade paperback retails for $19.99, and this will be the same for all of these, by the way. The hardcover retails for $24.99. The trim size of the paper stock is the same, by the way. And we'll look at the build of the other ones here in a second. So that's a quick look at Volume 1. And here is Volume 2, Roar, with another David Nakayama cover. Even the spines look the same again. Just the trade looking a little bit smaller, $19.99, $24.99, and the rating is teen. And they do tell you what is collected in this. Well, again, look at the hardcover. Collected in this one is issues 6 through 10 of ThunderCats. And again, here are the credits. Declan Shalvey, Drew Moss, Joe Mulvey doing the art for issue number 10, and then Martina Pignandoli doing the colors, and Chiara de Francia, and all these folks doing the colors for issue 10, and Jeff Eckelberry doing the colors, or the lettering for the entire book. All right, so we continue with, and it's going to be just a little bit hard to talk about without spoiling anything, because we are talking about Volume 2. But this is a continuation of the previous volume. I mentioned a little bit that there was a little, I want to say, just a little bit of Panthro has an issue with Lion-O. He doesn't think he is ready for leadership of the ThunderCats. We are talking about warriors. Now, there have been hints as to some of the characters and their powers, and one of the characters has a very mysterious little hint that was given early on, and she has become my favorite character of the series, and that is Chitaara. I absolutely love the take on Chitaara. It is different. She is still that warrior, but it is different enough that it makes you question what exactly is her agenda with everything. Is she really one of the good guys? Was she really a faithful warrior? And that's when I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chitaara series. Slythe, by the way, is joined by someone later on named Scale, who will play a huge part in this story arc. This is finally when the mutants start attacking the ThunderCats that are here on Third Earth. So we now see Monkian right here. So we start seeing more of the mutants. At first it was Slythe, then Monkian, and then there's another appearance later on by another character. And that's all I really want to say about this series. There is a little bit of a mystery and twists and turns, and some questioning of the leadership, like I talked about with Panthro. And in the back, by the way, I really like this issue right here that focuses on Chitaara. This is the one that focuses on all of them. And we see a little bit of Jaga too. Like, what is his role throughout this? And what is his connection to mumm-ra? But let's look at the extras. Actually, let's look at the extras in the Volume 2 Roar here in the trade paperback version. And then one of the things we're going to do is look at the binding of the hardcover. So the extras again are done in this thumbnail size art, like the covers. And hey, Silverhawks! It's got the exact same page count as this book, and honestly, even the binding is very similar because we are talking about glued binding. For that, then of course the trade paperback has glued binding. All right, let's talk a little bit about the next book, and that is Chitaara. So the second book had 144 pages. This one is back to 136, and it contains issues 1 through 5. Written by Sue Lee, who I got to interview, and Domenico Carbone doing the art, with Giona Cefito and Chiara Di Francia and Jeff Eckelberry coming back for colors and the lettering. This is taking place in the past. So, one of the things that I said was hinted at is the secondary power that perhaps Chitaara has. And it is here that it's revealed what that power is, that she may or may not even be aware of that she has. This takes place in the city of Thundera. So, it's not the planet of Thundera, but you can read a little bit more about it. This will showcase some of the characters in the past, like Jaga being kind of the mentor, talking about the religious beliefs of the people. And in here you are going to see a lot of the ThunderCats, including a young Lion-O, because remember I said his space pod or the stasis pod got broken, and what the mutants are up to, and some cameos here from perhaps what is to come later on. The only thing, and I mean the only thing I will say about this, is the art can be a little confusing. Not because it's bad, it's actually a solid art. Oh, and then we have, of course, Lion-O's father, right, Claudius, who was a big part of the flashbacks. But it's really cool to actually see Thundera here, because we've only seen a little bit of it through flashbacks and then the whole sort of Omens mythos. But the art can be a little confusing, because whenever you're dealing with a character like Tigra here or Panthro, they just look so different compared to the designs of them in the ongoing series. Like, I thought Tigra was a lot older, but they seem to be the same age, him and Chitaara. And I thought Panthro was a lot older. Oh, sorry, I brought up the wrong book. Yeah, I thought Panthro was a lot older, but he seems to be the same age. The only one that it was aged up because of the stasis pod was Lion-O. But anyway, that's about the only thing that I found some inconsistencies on. Yeah, this, like, I really thought he was going to be a lot older. You're going to see some mutants through here, and you're going to see some other Easter eggs through here. And then the cover gallery, which is the same as the others in the thumbnail size. Pieces of art right here. Volume 1, Volume 2. I cannot wait for Volume 3. And then the Silverhawks book. 136 pages. The paper stock between this and the trade paperback are the same. It's using the exact same paper. Beautiful covers, by the way. The exact same paper stock in between both of these. So it's got this glossy paper or glossy finish to it, and the thickness is the same. But that is it. That is the ThunderCats, Omens, Roar, and Chitaara miniseries. And that, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing either the hardcover or the trade paperback version, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcon at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of each of these books. And of course, the comparison to the trade paperback and the material, what exactly is collected in both versions. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.